the latest on the unfolding saga of music mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs, a man so rich and so powerful and so famous he may have once seemed untouchable. Well, tonight, not so much. On Friday, we saw the video of the Combs appearing to assault his ex-girlfriend. Today, we also have video of him admitting to it and apologizing for his, quote, inexcusable actions. A video first obtained by CNN shows P. Diddy running down a hotel hallway in 2016 and violently grabbing and throwing his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, to the ground. Ventura settled a lawsuit with Diddy this past November, and since then, 4 more people have come forward with allegations and lawsuits against Diddy. Diddy's also facing a reported federal sex trafficking investigation. And our next guest has been sounding the alarm on the rapper for 25 years and says that his apology means absolutely nothing. In December of 1999, Diddy was with his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, outside a Manhattan nightclub. There was a fight, shots were fired, and multiple people got injured. Natania Reuben was shot in the face. She was taken to the hospital. Diddy was acquitted on 2 counts of criminal possession of an unregistered gun and attempted bribery. Natania told me she would have the bullet fragments taken out of her own face if it meant that she could finally prove that it was Diddy who shot her. I talked with her moments ago to get a reaction to the now viral assault video. Here's what she said.
I was disgusted. I was disgusted at a very deep place, first and foremost, because it validated everything we already knew and suspected. You know, it just made it clear and defined in a way that no one could deny. I was very saddened for Cassie because she had to be re-victimized by this thing being presented. She told her narrative, and for so many people, it wasn't enough.
So Diddy put a video on Instagram over the weekend, an apology of sorts. I want to play it for you, Natania, and see what you think about it.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now, but I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness.
What do you make of that apology, Natania?
So it has zero value to me. First and foremost, it is the classic scripted publicist apology. I take accountability. I was disgusted. I went to rehab. I mean, how many times have we heard this narrative through the annals of time whenever a celebrity gets caught doing something or someone notable gets caught? It's the same narrative. Secondly, it carries no weight to me because he never apologized to Cassie directly. It was all about him. I'm disgusted. I, hit a hard time. It was all about him.
You knew Diddy before you were shot. You had actually met him at least one time before. You knew how powerful he was. Did people call you out for stepping forward?
I got called out the entire time. There was a narrative that we should never speak ill of somebody in the culture or another Black man. And, I was raised on cultural pride and racial pride. I believe in that wholeheartedly. But what I was also raised was to speak truth to power. That was the first lesson. And it didn't make a difference who it was. I always spoke up, and I'm not going to stop now. I got called out one time that I can remember that really, really has stayed with me, and it saddens me tremendously. This was when my face was still bandaged up, and my mom wanted me to get out of the house. I had been kind of like a hermit right after I got shot. And so there was a front cover story of me on the Daily News, and so those bandages looked very distinct. People knew who I was when I went outside. There were a group of my mom went to take care of some business, and there were a group of 7 people, I would say ranging from maybe 18 to 27. They cursed me out from across the street and called me everything but a child of God. you're trying to take down hip hop. You're trying to take down a good Black man. You're trying to destroy the culture. How? I was a victim. I got shot in my face. How am I trying to take down hip hop? I'm a student of hip hop. I bought the first rap record in 1979 in August with my allowance. I knew every word. Why am I the person trying to, and not the people recklessly wielding guns and committing violent acts against people? It didn't make sense.
I've heard him even say that people in the past, that people just want to take down a Black billionaire.
And while their history has shown us a whole narrative of that being the case, that is not the case in every situation, and it's certainly not the case now. I am a Black woman. What do I have to gain by doing that? I made 2 Black men out of my womb. Why would I do that? Why would I set out to destroy someone? By all accounts, he's done amazing things. But now, with hindsight being 2020, we can look back on those things and we know they were at, each accomplishment was at the cost of somebody's life or safety.
Natania, you were in the music industry and had a somewhat successful career. I want to play a little bit of one of your songs.
I know you wonder where he's been, but he's in here now like the game.
Do you feel like the situation with Diddy, held back your career?
I feel like his actions, what he did to me, shooting me in the face. I had a very promising career. I'm a vocalist. Everyone that knows me knows that. I've been talented my entire life and was actively pursuing that. And there's no way you can continue to pursue that with his tentacles stretching through the music industry. No one was ever going to let me climb the ranks. And after what had been done to me and how those people reacted, I didn't want to be amongst them. I didn't want to be in the company of people who would endorse this kind of behavior.
How sure are you that it was Diddy who pulled the trigger and shot you in the face?
100% with every fiber of my being. As long as he is charged, I feel vindication. I feel like I'm receiving justice, and I pray justice for everybody who was affected by him. And there are countless names and faces. I don't mind being the voice that speaks for them all. I think it's important to pay attention to how this thing is unfolding. Just recently, and it is my sincere belief that the video was leaked to the press because his son decided to make a diss track, his son Christian. He makes a diss track and he taunts the feds. I mean, if tone deaf was a person, his face would be in the dictionary under tone deaf. What do you mean? Oh, you searched our houses, but you forgot the mansion next door. That's where we keep all the stuff. What? Like, why would you say that while you're under a federal investigation, unless you are so tone deaf? And I can only imagine that somebody pushed him to go forward and say that. Because if your father felt so vehement about his innocence, why hasn't he proclaimed it in wax all this time? He has access to all the recording studios and all of the technology. Why did he sacrifice you and let you do it? And which is another thing. Are you sacrificing your children? That's what a psychopath does. They don't have the capacity to feel empathy or sympathy. And so everybody is merely a tool in their tool chest.
Thank you, Natania.
Absolutely, Brian.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.